You can pay and watch Raya and the Last Dragon on Disney+. But is it worth it? Let's start by saying this movie looks very good. Disney knows how to create good animations. All the places pop out of the screen and are beautifully detailed. The characters have great designs and are memorable. And it's not a musical, so the characters don't sing any songs. But we have fight scenes instead, and those look good. You feel every blow, and framing with the movement of the camera complements every fight. Overall, a lot of the shots look very cinematic. I wish I could watch it in the cinema. It's the perfect animation to watch on a bigger screen. And for listening, because it has a great sound design. Every punch and weapon has an impact, thanks to great sound effects. But music is the most atmospheric. It helped lift some scenes. I even had the chills. Listen to one song, but that's because it sounded like out of my favorite game, The Witcher 3 White Hunt. The characters are fun too. The voice actors did a great job. There are many interesting characters, sometimes too many. We don't have much time for most of them, but the time we have is put to good use, and I like them all. Well, except one character, but that's mostly the story's fault. And here I have only one problem with this movie. The story is quite simple, and after 10 minutes you can guess how the story will turn out. The beginning was the weakest for me. They decide to explain this world as fast as possible, and the main character just tells us everything we need to know. And some stupid decisions are made only to get the story to the next part. But as the story slows down, I started to enjoy it more and more. But even when it slows down, it's a fast-paced movie. We jump from one city to another so fast that we don't feel those locations. They look great, but there are just places where characters can get something. And then there's another place and one more thing to get, and those towns don't feel alive. It's a waste, because they look very interesting, and I would like to know more about them. Only the last city seemed as the most real place. This is because we spent more time there towards the end. And while the ending is predictable, I really enjoy it. So there are animated films like Pixar's Soul. It has a story that kids can enjoy, but it's great for adults too. The story is intelligent and has great morals. It was one of my favorite movies of 2020, and I recommend it to everyone. But there are also movies like the new movie starring our childhood friends, Tom and Jerry. This is for kids only. There are no elements for adults. It's just loud and a bit silly. So where are Raya and the Last Dragon going to land? Is this movie for children and adults or just for kids? It's somewhere in between, but closer to Tom and Jerry than Soul. This story has a great moral, but it is poorly presented. One of the main characters repeats this moral over and over again, so much so that it can be irritating. And it doesn't really work, because most of the scenes show that in this world it doesn't work that way. But I will talk more about the story in a moment. Let's end the no spoilers segment. The movie looks and sounds great. However, I don't think it's worth $30. But if you have a Disney Plus subscription and this movie will change to be for free, give it a watch and you might like it. But nothing will change in your life if you skip this. Now let's start mild spoilers. Our heroine is Raya, voiced by Kelly Marie Tran. You might recognize her from the Star Wars movies. She did a very good job at voice acting. Her character Raya is a gifted young fighter, and she has the coolest weapon, a retractable sword. She is trained by her father, Benja, voiced by Daniel Day Kim. He has a very pleasant voice, so it's always nice to listen to him. They live in a land divided by war. Once upon a time, they all lived in harmony thanks to magic dragons. But then Droon showed up, a plague of monsters that turn people and dragons into stones. To save humanity, the last dragon Sisu concentrated all of her magic into a gem and blasted the Droon away. Thanks to her, everyone is back to normal. Unfortunately, The dragons remained turned to stone. All that was left of them was a gem, and all the humans began to fight for the last remnant of dragon magic. In flashback, we see that Raya's father is the protector of this gem, but wants to reunite all lands to restore peace. Unfortunately, the people are not ready, and his attempt to unite them ends up destroying the gem and bringing the Drune back. And this is a Disney movie, so there is no place for parents here, so he gets turned into stone. To save her father, Raya decides to trust the legend that Sisu is still alive. And now the story really begins. It's been 6 years. She succeeds in her search and awakens the last dragon Sisu. Full disclosure, I always try to get as little information as possible before watching any movie, so I just took a look at the poster. I didn't really know anything about this movie, and when the mystical dragon Sisu appeared and she was voiced by Awkwafina, I was shocked. She has a very rough voice.
And a shape changed into people!
I wasn't ready for this. She started with a joke about a group project out of nowhere. It was strange to me.
Have you ever done like a group project?
Overall, there were too many unfunny jokes in this movie. And Sisu is the heart of this movie, so she talks about trusting each other and being nice all the time. It was a bit annoying for me, but after a while I got used to it and she is fine. But I was on board for other characters. There is a big guy named Tom. He's voiced by Benedict Wong. He wasn't very important to the plot, but he was fun to watch. There is a baby with a group of monkeys. They don't speak, but they are very physically skilled and have the most dynamic scenes. But my favorite is Bone, voiced by Isaac Wang. He's a boy who owns a shrimp restaurant on the boat. He's great. I'm ready to watch the entire movie about him. He's got charisma, he's funny, and he has some emotional scenes. And I almost forgot about Tuk Tuk. He doesn't really speak, but Alan Tudyk voiced him. He doesn't really do anything, he's just Raya's adorable animal sidekick. And of course he acts like a dog. There are so many characters that none of them has time to really develop. Raya's nemesis, Namari, has the most scenes that reflect her motivation and life. She's voiced by Gemma Chan. She has the best fight scenes with Raya. But throughout the movie she's an asshole. I am not too happy with her story, but I will tell you more about it in full spoilers. So let's talk about the score now.
For visuals, I'm giving 9. The entire movie is beautifully animated. Characters, locations, movements are at the highest level. For audio, I'm giving 9. Great sound effects and music. For story, I'm giving 4. It's quite simple and predictable. Some parts do not fit. For voice acting, I'm giving 7. Overall, a great job, but one character is a bit annoying. So overall I give, it's not worth 30 bucks, but if you can watch it for free, why not? You might like it. Out of 10.
Now let's talk in full spoilers. So the obvious lesson for the kids in this movie is to collaborate and trust each other. Sisu talks about it all the time, but the people in this movie are pretty awful. 90% of what we see are liars, thieves and killers, and Namari is the worst of them. She lied to Raya and it was her fault that gem was destroyed. Then she haunts Raya for no real reason. She wants to retrieve the stolen scroll, but then she gets it back and just wants to kill Raya. Raya never did anything to her. She has always had to defend herself because Namari doesn't leave her alone. We need a villain in the movie, but she got a sudden redemption in the end. I thought this would start when Raya contacts her and they meet, but no. She puts out her crossbow and kills Sisu. Later she says,
"You're as much to blame for Sisu's death as I am."
"What? No, she's not. It's all you, and all this mess is your fault. She is the worst, but in the end everyone trusts her and everything ends happily. She didn't deserve it. I wish they all gave their gems to Raya. Namari would be uncertain, but in the end she trusted Raya and gave up her gem. And it's not the only one weird decision made by the people in this movie. Raya and her father are the protectors of the most important gem in this world. And I guess they're the only warriors there, because there weren't even any other guards. Anyone can go inside. There were a few traps, but it seems they only work on Raya. And why did she show the gem to Namari? Hasn't she been trained all her life to protect it? Namar didn't ask for it, it was all Raya's idea. Then there's the weirdest sacrifice of Raya's father. He notices that the Droon is afraid of water. So, he says goodbyes to his daughter and throws her into the water. I know that Disney doesn't like parents in their movies, but he could easily jump to the water with her. Of course, he had to do that so that movie could happen, but they may show it a little better. But after that the movie kept getting better for me. The happy ending was very happy. Everyone has suddenly changed and now they are good. But still, the end is the best part for me. The scene where Raya goes through Fang Town to fight Namari was badass. The fight itself was fun too. And overall, Fang was the most real place with great design. There are great animations, music and good characters. But there's something missing in the story that would make this movie really good. But what do you think? Did you like Raya and the Last Dragon? And as always, if you like this video, leave a like. And for more videos, click that button. See you!